Hey, Clint, good morning. I will just say, as a matter of fashion and style, I mean, you looked fierce in the mask, dude, and then you're up there on your toe and you're hitting rockets all over the place. The look served you very well. Are you planning on continuing it during the season, even after there's a vaccine? Because I think you should.
There was a couple times where I thought to myself, maybe this is what I need to do in the future, just because it's working right now. So we'll see moving forward if I'm going to wear it or not.
Clint, good to see you, big fella. Long time. How you doing, man?
How are you? It's been like 7 years, dude.
It's incredible. We had him here in the draft when he got drafted by the Indians, and he came to Secaucus.
Harold still looks the same, doesn't he? It's weird.
Same energy, too.
Yeah, man. You got to have the energy. Hey, so it's been an interesting trek for you through the big leagues, getting settled in and all that stuff. When did you really feel like, I finally found my groove, I'm finally settling in and understand this big league game?
I mean, I think I'm still trying, you know. I mean, obviously each year has gotten a little bit better, and I would say this year I think I took the most strides in the most areas, and I'm still working. But I definitely think this year I felt the most comfortable. I felt the most at home, you know, especially because I kept finding myself in that lineup every day. It's not
nice.
Yeah, it's not easy to find yourself in the Yankees lineup every day. So I think the more times that I was in the lineup, I started to feel like, you know what, maybe I can be in this lineup every day moving forward as long as I keep playing well.
I love the footage we're seeing here, Clint, because we saw so much of the bottom of your left cleat at the plate this year, up on your toe. And I spoke to your hitting coach, Marcus Timms, about that at length at the beginning of the season. I want to hear in your own words that stance, that balance, and how much of that you attributed to your success at the plate this year.
It's been difficult, man, because at times I always felt like I was trying to swing, but my swing was on safety, you know, and there was things that were preventing me from being able to move forward the way that I wanted to. And I talked to the guy that I work with in the offseason. I was like, what do you think about kind of presetting my hit? And the way that I preset the hit the most is by turning that back foot, because it's just, I can feel like some tension on the backside that allows me to know, like, all right, I'm in a sense locked in. You know, it feels like it's locked in there, and it's very limited movement. And that's all I was trying to do, was just trying to limit the amount of movement that I had moving forward, and just in reality, just me in the baseball. And it feels good. It definitely warranted good results. So I'm not making any changes in this offseason. I'm just trying to familiarize myself with that movement more moving forward, and just trying to go out there and mash.
I'm curious, does that make you feel like you can stay a little longer in on a breaking ball as well?
I think it just makes me feel like I have way more time in general, you know,
because you've already pre-turned and now all you do is just release and come through.
Yeah, like I definitely feel like it helped me use right field a lot more, with more intent, you know, because there were some balls that I hit the year before that, you know, I had a couple guys that almost robbed them in right field, and I felt like I had more power that way. And I definitely feel like it kept me grounded more. You know, Booney kept calling it ground force. Like I'm sunk into the ground, and I'm using as much of my lower half as I can. And it was one of those things that very early on in spring training 1.0, it worked out, and I just stuck with it.
So I'm going to take you back again. I'm looking at, even on the graphic, we had the 5th pick overall in the draft when you went that year. And if memory serves me right, you and Austin Meadows grew up together. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So what is that like, watching his career and watching him take off, and you guys get a chance to see each other or talk to each other through all this?
Yeah, I mean, every time we play each other, you know, obviously with the rules this year, we were socially distanced, talking to each other whenever we could. But, you know, Austin and I have known each other since we were, I want to say, probably 8 or 9 years old. So it's really cool watching his success. It's not as much fun watching him hit home runs over my head whenever we're playing them. Seems like he always found a way to hit it over my head. And, you know, he had that all-star year in 2019, and I think that it was I mean, it was a great season for him. It was a way to really establish that, he's more than just a hitter. I mean, he has a lot of power. He's a lot of potential to impact the game, and the Rays are definitely reaping the rewards that they got from that trade because he's turning into an all-star.
I mean, it's pretty cool for you two to be from that area. You get a chance to go back, and not often do guys live up to the hype coming out of high school where you're both top picks, and here's what they're going to do, and you guys are able to do that. So when you go home and you get a chance to talk to local youth playing baseball, I'm sure they know your story. What's your conversation when you get a chance to speak to teams back home?
You're talking about just like the youth kids?
Yeah, when you get a chance to talk to kids.
Oh, it's cool because both of our dads coach the same Little League team out of Georgia. So every time I go home and I go to the facility to see my dad, it's either they're talking about Austin or they're talking about me. And they had me meet with them last year and try to give them advice. And I was like, look, like, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. And the biggest thing I think moving forward is just work hard because you never know whenever it's gonna come to an end. I was playing high school baseball and next thing you know, 7 years later, I'm playing for the Yankees, and it's been a long, interesting road with a lot of ups and downs. And at the end of the journey, I'm hoping that I have 10 plus years with the Yankees because it's a great organization, and I'm attributing that to all the hard work that was put in, all the great people around me, and my girlfriend that helps keep my head leveled every day.
Hey, we got a minute left with you, Clint. Since we have already documented with you that we love watching you hit, who out there do you like stop and watch hit? And let's take the Yankees out of it because I don't want to put you in a weird spot picking a Yankee teammate over another one. Who on another team do you stop and watch hit?
So I actually like to watch Bo Bichette hit. Bo is obviously young, but he has a lot of similar moves where he kind of turns his shoulders kind of like how I do, and he has a lot of his back going. And he is a smaller guy like myself, and he creates a lot of whip. And sometimes, we play the Blue Jays every week, it felt like, in Buffalo. I watched him a lot because I try to just find similarities in my swing and someone else's swing because it is a little bit harder to find people. And he definitely seems like a guy that he doesn't get cheated, and he's good, man. He's really, really good.
Hey, Clint, good having you on the program today, man. Thanks for taking a little bit of time with us. We appreciate the visit. Stay safe. We'll see you at camp, man. Thanks for being with us on Hot Stuff.